Quay. To Reverend Ed Trevors from Weaver, John C. Roseman, California. From one fellow cartoon fanatic, including the Disney stuff, to another, including the Star Trek stuff. You know I can do this on both hands. And second, she must be obeyed needs to go out. Rev, I can go off on the deep end on this one. I truly can. But he ain't worth it. He ain't worth it. I mean, he's not worth that kind of attention. He'll be saying his crap all over the place. And my mama and my grandmother raised me on such a thing, such as if you can't get positive attention, you can get negative attention. Somewhere to paraphrasing it, thing, but you understand that. This guy's nuts. Rogan is nuts. And I'm not giving him a benefit of the doubt. He's just not worth it. It always kind of comes across to Psalm 82. Yeah, looked it up. Looked it up on that score. King James Version. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. No one could actually understand what the term Selah meant. Defend the poor and the needy, read them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. Walk in darkness, all the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High, but ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Think of what Joe Rogan and the other ilk are like. In their own mindset, in their own righteous way, they think they are entitled. They think they are entitled to anything and everything at this point. And it's a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? It's a bit nerve-rattling because now we got to give these guys credence and clearance. I'm sorry, I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't do that kind of thing. It's just not done. If they're not going to get positive attention, all they want is the negative attention. I think that's what they got in all their life is the negative attentions all the time. Because I really don't think that they know how to be a benefit or anything else to mankind. Actually, why am I doing this one? It's Tuesday, not Wednesday. That's right. Today's Tuesday. Okay. So I don't have to be in a hurry. Good. I hadn't watched all of your sermon, but I just wanted to get this out of the way because I got a little tiffed about it, so I'm going to put you on pause while I watch the rest of your sermon. Oh, by the way, I did say I was a Star Wars and Star Trek and cartoon nut job and science fiction and everything else. I don't know. I mean, does some of the stuff up here actually qualify? I mean, there's a Spock buried in there somewhere, but with a sign on it, and there's traveling companions and a college buddy, and there's a dog on there. I got nearly through quarter way to nearly a third of the way into it, and I have to make my postings on this one here. I have to say something about it. I know it's incomplete, and I know I'm probably going to be stepping on a lot of feet at this point over here. But as I said before, probably in my comments, this guy has not been a kid at heart, but also he has been a brat of heart. As I said, if he's not going to get positive attention, he's going to get negative attention, and right now you're giving it all to him. I don't let these guys off. That's why there's other people online who make money off of the thing, who relish going after people like this because that's their bread and butter. I know you're looking for examples to prove to people what's happening these days. And we got a lot of people out there, at least screwed up in their heads and their hearts, that we're trying to show that maybe we're better than them, or we're trying to make an example at this point. To me, it's like a hidden, sly way of saying that it's us versus them. But I guess even in the Bible, it was us versus them. If I happen to think about it that way, it's a little bit rattling at this point. I try not to feed an ego, but unfortunately, sometimes I have to keep looking back and ask myself the questions regarding my own channel, The Diary of a Griever Named John Weaver. And besides talking about my own personal stuff happening these days, about my own personal life going crazy as it is, and observations of the world going insane while I'm trying to deal with my own damn emotions. Originally, Reverend, this was self therapy for me. Because I didn't think anybody else would just do a consistent theory or a consistent series about their emotional state. I've come across all my life news stories and stories told by me by people about how things change for those who are going through emotional traumas to a point where they're getting to be suicidal. That there are things that are pressuring them so badly that they think death is the only answer. And I had to say to myself, no, I am not going to be one of those people. But I have to be one of those kind of people to talk about them in a way that they would understand. Talk in their language. Understand why. I'm not college decorated, okay? I don't have any college degrees. I'm going through a community college. I'm 58 years old. Been there almost 10 years. I screwed up college, as I said before in my channels. I screwed up my schooling a long time ago as a kid. Didn't have the perspective, didn't have what it took to get through it. And I demonstrated, and I worked my ass off and watched and learned and saw people die around me. And got experiences that way. Book learning can get you so far, but going through the damn stuff, it's terrifying and heartache enough as it is. But then you try to function through life, which I had to do. Until I started losing people that was close to me. And then realized my mama was on a slow pathway. She couldn't deal with it anymore. Her heart was broken so much. Her mind got broken. That her body followed suit. In my head, in my mind, Ma committed slow death. Dave was, I don't know, they fought like hell, but he wasn't afraid of death either. He was just afraid of going through the physical trauma that he incurred in his head. Strokes. Trans-ischemic attacks in his head in several areas that made him an invalid and incommunicado. Aphasia. Say one thing, but you mean the other. Barf. I just said one word, but that's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say cup. There is, what I'm going to say is not aphasia, it is descriptive. This is milk. This is the white stuff in here. Hopefully I don't pour it all over the damn place. But it's milk. Ractagino in there. Now, it took me some time to think on this thing. But if I'm going to say it with aphasia at this point over here, I'd say another word. Brick. I'll say something off the top of my head that my brain got screwed up over. That's how it was communicating with my brother. And he was pissed because he couldn't communicate exactly what he wanted to tell me. He just indirected. And he wanted to get better, but apparently this was pissing him off so much, he didn't want to live this way. I think he gave up on life. In between home and an ambulance ride trying to save his ass, he said to me in clear words, and he knew he was dying at this point, John, I need help. I called 911, got the ambulance, on an ambulance ride between home and a hospital where he passed away. And I get into the emergency room after they tried to take care of him and clean him up, and all he is a slab of beef. I'm not using made up words on this one. He wasn't my brother anymore, and I had to yell at a corpse. Changes a person a great deal. It was one thing seeing my mother die in front of me, slow death. And that was hard enough on me and my brother, as we were both caregivers, now caretakers. And then seeing my brother go through this stuff, from a caregiver to a caretaker. Hearing a favorite surrogate mother slash best friend die on me. Not to mention another dog dying from a stroke. Things do take a toll on a person where they snap. So I had to talk on my channel about everything going on in me. Emotional, physical, mental lifeboat, including my life experiences, memories, and everything else that probably mattered to hell to me. And I don't care if anybody else thinks I'm a bitch or not. I don't care. I was riding in the backseat even as an adult to my mother when she was driving. Or even a side street if my brother wasn't there. Actually, my brother would be taking the shotgun and I'd be the backseat guy. First moan and the mother up front. The baby is in the back. So if Joe Rogan or the other guys are going to say something stupid about a cartoon series, they're reaching, dude. Throw out the damn woke political crap head game that they got. They don't know what the hell they're saying and doing these days, and they really don't care because they know their audience is stupid enough to believe in it. That's basically how it is. That's the observation I'm seeing right now on a constant basis. Any independent people thinking that there are intelligent people out there watching them instead of the corporate media because they don't believe or trust in the corporate media. I mean, this damn head games go on and on and on. However you look at it and however you view it. And it's insane. But, shit happens. Things are happening right now. So what can I say? I don't know. What can I say or do? Am I going to allow the guys like Rogan to ruin my day or rule my day? Control my day? Oh. I'm not talking about the neighbor upstairs either. Serenity prayer comes in handy, Rev. I suggest Rogan uses it. I'm sorry, does he actually understand God? Or we never understand God. God is in a different dimension other than us. But if he's got the power to watch over us, then maybe he's got the power looking at Rogan and probably scratching his head saying, why the hell did I ever created this guy in the first place? He gave him free will. Only because everybody else is free will, so that's part of the programming. Manly men. Let me tell that son of a... Reverend, can I tell you what it is to be a manly man? A manly man takes care of his family. That's it. I am not following the head games of the manly men. I'm a man. I'm just a man. I'm just a guy that God saved his ass many times. I'm still asking the question why. I'm not trying to push my values or anything else down other people's throats. I'm not. Your job as an Anglican priest, as a priest, as a representative of Christ and God in human form, trying to understand the sacred texts, of how to interpret them with the events of today. So hopefully that maybe we have a better understanding of what God and Jesus has in store for us and wants from us. How we're supposed to be treating people and everything else in general. You know, you spread the message. That's all you are, and that's your job. I'm not doing a gripe session on that one. Guys like Rogan feed upon everybody else. They're like cockroaches. You just can't get rid of these guys. They multiply. They feed upon each other. You know the cockroaches feed upon each other? They can't find anything else to eat. They'll eat themselves. Or actually eat each other. Trust me, you don't want to see what's going on behind certain areas of your home and covered places where dark things creep and other things may sleep. You don't want to see that, especially when you're dealing with bug war. Anyway, Rev, I thought I'd get this off my chest here. I'll watch cartoons because I like them. I grew up on them. I grew up on the violence that they actually had back then, and they thought it was cute and fun. We laughed at it. We didn't know any better, did we? These days, I can barely stand it, of the cartoons evolved next to the cartoons we got these days. And yeah, I'll watch it to a point until I get sick and tired and I want to throw up. But I am a Star Wars fanatic, fan, and a Star Trek fan, and not a pure fanatic. There's only so much I can deal with. There's only so much things I can deal with. As for being a manly man, I'm a caregiver. Let's see how that lazy son of a bitch can deal with that one. And yeah, that is judgmental. Bring on the boomerang. Bring it on.